Good morning, everybody. This is Lisa Lashendro, one of the annuity sales directors here at IAMS. And then I've got Rob Markovics on the line as well. He is our number one consultant when it comes to preset appointments and what the market is doing out there, different vendors, and all that good stuff. So today, obviously, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the avenues that you guys have with IAMS as your IMO and your main source of communication when it comes to marketing and getting you in front of more people. As you know, if you're already in the business, there is no better time in the history of annuities to be talking to people, especially those baby boomers, about using annuities as part of their strategies. So, um, with that, I'm going to get started. We've got quite the attendance today, which doesn't surprise me too much because everybody's looking to get in front of folks. So for those I don't recognize, I do see quite a few names here that are already working with us. So, hey guys, welcome back to the IAMS family. And then for those of you where this is your first webinar with us, thanks so much for joining. I hope you get some good stuff out of here to walk away with and ideas and look forward and hopefully talking to you soon. With that, I'm going to go ahead and go over a couple of things. With those of you that are already working with us, maybe this is a good reminder of some tools that you should be using with IAMS. And for those that don't know IAMS very well, this will give you a 10,000 foot view shot of what you get when you do work with us. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. When you first contract with IAMS, we want to show you our appreciation and going to show you how our partnership really works. And we do that with our new producer builders. So the first 6 months, whatever production level you hit, whether it's, 100,000, a million, beyond that, obviously it gets sweeter. We're going to give you a little extra bling on your marketing dollars. So you can kind of see, 100,000 level, it's probably worth around 750 bucks. We go into a 750 level, we could be looking at a digital annuity lead campaign or maybe a website, revamping your website, all sorts of different things. This is not um, a one size fits all kind of deal. We are very custom when it comes to customizing each individual agent, advisor, producer, to what works with you in your business. So keep that in mind. Let me know if you have questions on any of these, obviously. Next, you love referrals, a great way to continue your business being strong. And there's no better lead than a referral, in my opinion. Well, we like them too. So we want to work with good quality producers like yourself. If you have somebody in mind that would be a good fit or could benefit from working and partnering up with us, well, we want to make sure that we appreciate you for that introduction. So we have our referred producer program. So we're going to give you an override out of our pocket. This comes out of us. This doesn't affect your friend's commission at all. But on a quarterly basis for any of that life target, indexed annuity, MIGA, SPL, these are the basis points that you would receive on any of the business they submit. So it's just an ongoing thank you that never ends because without you, we wouldn't have that introduction. I want to talk to you a little bit and just remind you guys on that back office support. It is the top in the industry. I know you hear this from all the IMOs, but I hear this every day from my agents that I work with. Just so appreciative to our new business folks. They do an amazing job as far as making sure your application is staying in process, moving forward. They'll let you know if you need to get the client involved to call the fund manager and say, hey, you need to release my money. I'm tired of waiting. Or, if there's app corrections, we scrub those for you before they go to the carrier. Questions on your commission. If you want me to help you with your case design, that's what I'm here for. You just call me up or your director up and say, hey, this is what I got going on with this client. What do you suggest? And then we're going to go into our little magic box of knowledge that we all have. And that's our job. Our job is to be able to fit your client into the best product that fits your client, not a product for your client to fit into. So, all sorts of different resources with our back office support, guys. Another resource that you have with us, and if you have not already registered on our website, I need you to do that now. It's www.imsinc.com. Here you're going to have term quoter access. You have annuity rate watch on here, or you could look at the best MIGA rates. You have forms. We have a resource library, looking for some concept pages to send over to your client, or maybe a particular fact finder. Everything is at your fingertips. All you have to do is register. So take a look at that. If you have any questions or want somebody to take you for a tour on how to use our website, let us know. All right, EAPS, Firelight. This is the best way to get your app into the carrier in good order. There's a lot of NIGOs that irritate us. I know we've all had them. When I was an agent, I had them as well, so I feel your pain. But you know, with Firelight, you are going to have access to a majority of the carriers. You're going to make sure you have the most accurate form. And let me tell you, if I can get an 87-year-old and walk him through an app on Firelight, I feel pretty confident I can get you there too. So if you're concerned or need help with the walkthrough or any of that, any of us annuity directors or new business folks can help you with that. So don't be afraid to ask. Next, we have our creative marketing folks. Those guys are the best as far as customizing your design. Maybe you've had the same logo for 20 years and you're like, I'm looking for something new. You tell them what type of colors you like or whatever, they'll put all of that together for you. They can do anything from updating your website to actually starting from scratch and developing a website for you. Maybe it's social media consulting, you want to improve on that. I've had them do A to Z. So if you have anything that you need from us on a marketing standpoint, let us know and we'll get you hooked up. Ooh, next, I'm going to put a poll down here. These guys are good buddies of mine, and I really appreciate what they do for our agents, especially my agents. So when you're talking to an agent, or I'm sorry, a client, and let's say they have need to be in the market or whatnot, and you don't have your securities license, then you can lean on IAMS Wealth Management to help you and the client, and you will still remain in full control of your client's assets. Instead of bringing on somebody else that wants 50% of the annuity business that you write as well, we want to keep you in full control. So we have IAMS Wealth Management that can help you do that. Now, this is the part that just really trips me up. IAMS Wealth Management will transfer those clients back to you if you decide to get licensed. And we will help you get licensed if that's something that you want. So that's for, those of you that don't have your securities license. You literally have everything you need at your fingertips with IAMS, including the marketing or the market side of things. Now, for those of you that are registered and do have your license, we are fantastic with that too. With IAMS Wealth Management, we take care of your website. We take care of all of your, everybody loves the compliance when you're registered, right? Oh, what a pain that is. I remember getting my hand slapped because I put a different word on LinkedIn. It was terrible. But IAMS Wealth Management takes care of all that for you. They're going to take care of all your compliance issues. They're going to take care of your website. You're going to just call them, say, hey, this is what I need my client to have. And they do all that app work and paperwork for you. So literally, it's just a phone call for you. Talk about the case with them, and they take care of the rest. So if you're interested in hearing from my buddy Duncan, or talking to any of the guys over there, just hit yes and I'll make sure they get in touch with you. Looks like most people have voted. If you change your mind and want to do, just call into our office. We'll get you connected to them as well. So I'm going to go ahead and close that poll and keep rolling, because I know Rob is just biting at the bits to go and talk about all these lead programs.
It's warming up my voice over here.
Do your la 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 la. Okay. 2-day training includes, so this is something that we typically do in the spring and summer, just because we have agents all over the nation. You know, a lot of folks out west in California, as well as, you know, all the way in California to Florida and those warmer clients. So we don't want to scare you guys away with the cold winters here in Nebraska, but that's the reason why we typically just have them in the spring and summer. But it's a 2-day training, and there's very minimal costs on this. We take care of your food and room and board and all that good stuff. And you're just basically rubbing elbows with other successful advisors in the industry. You're hearing from the best in the industry. We bring in special speakers. We talk about advanced casework and all that good stuff. And the idea of us doing this, and we're one of the only IMOs that has this, by the way, is for you to walk away and have tools and ideas from the best in the industry to grow your business. So we take care of the cost. You walk away with tools to grow your business, and everybody's happy. So look for those emails come near the spring. If you're interested in that, interested in our academies, you'll just want to register right away, because those spots are very limited. Steve just announced today, I don't know if you saw your emails, but he is doing double credits, both for a seaside sanctuary in Kiowa Island, South Carolina, and for a theme. So you get double, you know, any theme business, on a theme business only, obviously. A theme business, you'll get double the credits for this trip and double credits for a theme trip coming up next year. We have until 12/31 to get those in, so we still got some time here. And that's it. That's all I got for the IAMS kind of preview. If you haven't already liked us on, you know, Facebook and LinkedIn, go ahead and get that done. We keep that updated and have a lot of good stuff in there for you. So let me pull up my webinar with Mr. Rob. Where'd it go? Sorry. Here we go. All right. Mr. Rob, are you ready for this?
I am ready as can be. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hey, thanks for spending your time with us. I know you guys are all busy. Hopefully you're writing a ton of business out there. If you're not, we can put you in a spot where we can help you. There's a few different appointment setting systems that are available through IAMS and our connection. One of the things I think that's really an opportunity for some of you guys, you know, we're coming into the fourth quarter of the year, and you know, it's like, where are you sitting now compared to what your goal was at the beginning of the year? I always tell agents, hey, you got to take your temperature along the way. A lot of us set a goal in January, and then, you know, we don't look at it until December, and it causes a huge issue. You're like, I didn't make my goal. Well, no wonder why you didn't make your goal. I mean, that'd be like coaching an NFL football team and not looking at the scoreboard until the 2-minute warning, you know, in the fourth quarter. And you can't operate that way. So a couple things, you know, take advantage of, you know, what IAMS has to offer. One of the things I always love about those guys, I mean, I'm on the phone talking to them specifically a few times a week usually, and one of the cool things I still think about them is they always answer the phone. There's a live body on there. They're not, you know, it's usually, you know, 1 or 2 rings and you have a human being, which is amazing to me in today's in today's era. So I just love that part about them. But I think there's some other tools that you can utilize, not only to help your clients, but also help yourself. A lot of us think, that we're experts in, hey, I'm an expert in building a website. No, you're not. You're an insurance salesperson. You're an expert at selling insurance and helping people. Don't get distracted. I think most of the people, and when it comes to the appointment side, most of you guys as agents, you spend 2/3 of your day trying to figure out, hey, how am I going to get in front of somebody? And 1/3 of your day, in this scenario, Zoom or kneecap to kneecap, but contacting a client where you actually make your money. If we can keep you busy, the 2/3 of the day you're being diverted or distracted, I mean, it's easy money. You can double to triple your income. So if you made, 100 grand last year and you wanted to make 300 grand this year, what did you change to do that? If you haven't done anything, there's a few opportunities here. Um, a couple things about the appointment systems that are available through IAMS, just in general, they are appointment systems. These aren't lead systems. The typical lead company, you make the phone call, you buy 100 of them, and you pay whatever it is, they're 30 bucks a piece or whatever, and you pay them $3,000. Well, the first 60 people don't answer the phone. The next 30 are like, hey, take me off the list for the 50th time, not realizing it's been sold 50 times. And you got a shot at the last 10. So, where there's an opportunity, and we'll talk about these targets. But one of the things that's cool about all these systems is none of them give away anything for free. So they're not like, hey, Sally, would you like a free iPad? And she registers to win a free iPad and they create an appointment for it. So none of these appointment companies do that. They're all reaching out to them. The markets they work is the K through 12 market, the state employees, which would be, some of the, like state patrol officers, that type of stuff, people that work for the state, and also the city, county, municipalities. So, police officer, firemen, that's another markets that's available, as well as the colleges and universities, and the other one's the federal market. The other thing about these appointments is these guys create and deliver one appointment one time to a single agent. So it's something that's not resold. And the last thing, and one of the coolest things I think about the whole system, is when they engage somebody, they engage them about their retirement. Like I said, they don't give anything away for free. So they're expecting a pension retirement review. And when the client goes, yeah, I'm interested in meeting with a representative about that, we're like, great. These systems let the client schedule the appointment at the time they would like. And then the appointment systems grab these appointments and they go looking for who's available in that area. So we'll get into the calendar in a minute, but like just say it's Lisa and I participating and we're in the state of Kansas and there's an appointment created in the college market, the system would look at it and go, hey, who's available? Oh, Rob is or Lisa is. It would grab that appointment and deliver it. And so here is one of the agent calendars. Sorry, Lisa, I got you going out of order, but here's one of the agent calendars. It's pretty simple. You block out any time you're not available. So they don't care what you're doing. It's pretty well an automated source. If you won the trip that I hope you go down to Carolinas with the IAMS group, which would be really cool. You can go into your calendar and just block off, hey, I'm going to be gone, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You block it out in your calendar. You won't receive any appointments. One thing we do want to tell you about any of these systems as we get into them a little bit deeper is when you block your calendar out, make sure you're blocking it out. What you see in green is actually a live appointment. Some agents get into this and they go, oh, I had this appointment source I was buying appointments from. They were $300 a piece and I prepaid this and it's taken them 3 months to give me 3 appointments. Some of these systems, if you leave your calendar wide open, they will put 5 appointments on your calendar a day. So it is physically possible to do that. So just keep that in mind. Lisa, I know you want to comment on that for sure. At least
Yeah,
I think you do.
yeah, sorry, I'm having an issue with my headset today. Um, yeah, absolutely. So, one thing I've had a lot of agents go through this appointment setting process, and I mean, we're all on budgets and everything else, but if you don't do a proper management on your calendar and your manage your schedule appropriately, you can really shoot yourself in the foot. And, I don't make a dime on how much you spend on marketing. I could care less. I am successful when you are successful. So that's why I make it very clear, if you have never done one of these programs before, I don't want you opening up your calendar. I want you to start out slow, get your process, get your flow happening. And then make sure you set a time on your next week for you to have room for that second appointment or third
Yeah,
appointment.
that's really, really important. I've seen cases
Extremely.
like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
seen
Because you want
cases like
to talk
that
to those
where,
clients when they're hot. I mean, you know this. If you're in the business and someone's like, "Yeah, I'm interested in seeing something," what you show me what you got. All right, well, let's schedule something for next Monday at 5 p.m. or whatever. And then you get that on that calendar, put it on the calendar so that, Rob's programs aren't going to, set that and be double booked. You got to have that process down. And just like
yeah,
any marketing strategy, I don't care if it's
absolutely.
workshops, I don't care if it's, radio, whatever. You got to have process. Sit
Yep,
down,
absolutely.
write out your process and practice it and make that your mastery. So if you don't have that, you're not going to have a whole lot of success. I'm just going to be blunt and tell you that.
Right.
If you
We see
do
that
have,
all the time where an agent has a
mhm,
real full calendar and I'll be talking to them and I'm like, how are the appointments? And they're like, oh, they're amazing. And I go, have you sold any, closed any business? No. Well, you got too many appointments on your calendar. And
mhm,
so sometimes we have clients responding to these appointment companies because they're like, hey, I met with Rob and he said he was going to get back to me. Well, he never got back to me, right?
yep,
And now it's been 2 weeks. Well, the problem is you got your calendar so open that you're not blocking stuff off. It's important that, you create a process and follow it, like Lisa said. And that's with any appointment setting system or even your referral
mhm,
business you're doing now, any business you're doing now. Hey, if you meet with a client today, you need to try and meet with them for their second follow-up appointment within usually 2 to 5 days, I'd say maximum
yep,
a week, except maybe for a circumstance where they're like, hey, I'm leaving, I'm going on vacation, I'm, moving into my new house. If they have something going on that way, fine. But otherwise, you really need to compress that time. You should never be walking out of a first appointment without scheduling a second appointment. And really, ideally, when you go on these first appointments, the ideal goal is, why am I going on the first appointment? You're going to meet the person, create a little bit of a rapport with them, and most importantly, schedule a second appointment. So that's
yep.
where the business is done.
And if you ever want to talk, like, if you ever go to our website, on our website, you'll get access to our YouTube channel, and on there you can, just type in appointments or business processes, and you'll find that we have a lot of training webinars on those, and you're welcome to, look at those anytime. So if you have any questions on that, any of the marketing directors can help you find those webinars as well. Rob, we ready to keep going here?
Yep, let's keep rolling it.
All right, let's talk about the cost. I'm sure that's what everybody's thinking right now.
They're like, how much is this stuff? Come on.
Yep.
So as far as costs, there's a couple things. There's a few different appointment systems available out there through IAMS. One of the cool things is, even though it says waive setup fee and introduction fees, the cool thing is being attached with IAMS, they're taking care of all those charges. So you have no sign up fees, no monthly access fees, no registration fees. All that stuff is taken care of for you, which is a huge chunk, a little bit of change. So you have no out-of-pocket cash. Some of these companies, they all operate in different ways, but one of them in particular, or two of them in particular, they basically bill you on the day of the appointment. So what that process looks like is you'll be able to go in, register in their system. It typically takes you less than 5 minutes. You'll be able to go, hey, I want colleges in K through 12 and in this state and that state, and I want, just K through 12 in Arizona or whatever suits your boat, so to say. You can run multiple states with this format, which is really cool. The
Mhm.
price on those appointments is $64 per appointment. Now they do have federal appointments. The federal appointments are a little bit higher. The lowest price we can get you guys on federal appointments, and this is super low compared to the industry standard, is
Mhm.
$74 an appointment. If
Yep.
you're interested in federal, you need to get a hold of Lisa right away. Don't wait. Don't go, oh, I'm going to wait until January. Well, I can tell you by January, we will have pipelined in enough people on the federal side where they will go, hey, I don't want to take any more federal for a few months. And then all of a sudden it's going to be March. And then you're not going to make your yearly goal that you set in the beginning of January because you want to take I always joke about the holidays, but I go, it's called a holiday. It's not a hol a week and it's not a hol a month. I know you guys want to spend time with your family, and some of you guys are in the insurance industry to be able to take some of that time, but just stay on the ball with it. It'll be first come, first serve in that. And Lisa and I have seen that over the last 6 years, 7 years we've been doing business together. Some of these appointment companies will turn around and go, hey, no more federal, no more people in the state of X. Right
Yep.
now everything's pretty well wide open. So now's the time to get the process started. Like I said, you can control the flow of appointments based on your calendar availability, and kind of go from there. Lise, did I miss anything on that side?
Just a couple things I want to add. And, we learned from COVID that having more than one marketing strategy is important. We had all these producers out there prior to COVID that were, at the kitchen table knee to knee with a client. And once COVID hit, their business just immediately stopped. It just stopped. And there was no plan B. So if you are a guy or a gal that is in the federal market, yes, get with me immediately because these federal leads are going to fill up rather quickly. Um,
Appointments.
Sorry, appointments. Dang it, there's 20 bucks. Every time I say leads and not
I'll,
appointments, I owe them
I'll
20
put
bucks.
that on your bill for later when I show back up at
Doggone
IAMS.
it. Ugh. So, I lost my train of thought. So, I will tell you recently, in the last few months, we had a lead source, another program that Rob was able to get us in front of, and they dried up. They just dried up. And so those guys that were just focused on federal leads dried up too. I mean, so there's nothing wrong with, looking at this for federal. Maybe you just want to do this for federal, and then you and I can talk about maybe another marketing option to intertwine with that. Or maybe you're going to do federal and college, or federal and another avenue. So you're always got, a couple different categories, a couple different marketing strategies working for you. Another thing
Yeah,
I love
one
about,
nice thing too on this, sorry to interrupt you, Lisa, on that
Mhm.
part is just so you guys know, all these systems have a calendar sync system. And so the calendar does sync
What
with
Calendly?
like your Google Calendar, for example. So you can run multiple systems. I mean, there's a lot more. I mean, I specifically cover the appointment setting companies that are available to you all through IAMS, but there's other lead appointment type sources, activity sources, whether it's, you know, um, uh, radio shows, some of that stuff. And so reach out to Lisa and the team over at IAMS. They're more than helpful with that. But one of the nice things, and I think what Lisa's saying is, hey, you can run these things, together at the same time. You don't have to just try one thing. Um,
Hmm.
one of the deals that, at least one of the things we missed, one of the nice things, if you guys have not worked that K through 12 market or the college market, is it's really easy to walk in on and do pension reviews once you understand that pension. There's a huge opportunity there. Every agent I talk to always gives me, hey, their two biggest challenges are, how do I meet somebody Well, meeting somebody's pretty easy. It's how do you get them to push their finances across the table? You know, one of the nice things about these appointments is these people are all expecting a pension retirement review. So along with that, they're going to open their wallet and show you what they have going on. Number two is that I hear, and this is probably one of the biggest things, is yeah, everybody I meet that has a job and has some income already has a financial planner, and how do I get around it? The opportunity in the pension review market, retirement review market is huge. I can tell you, number one, 91 to 92% of the people that have a pension, whether it's a fireman, policewoman, a professor, a school teacher, whatever it is, have no clue what they're going to retire with. That's number one. But number two, you know, agents neglect that area. And one time I was talking to 10,000 agents in the crowd and asked that question, you know, hey, do you have, raise your hand if you have a policeman, fireman, city, county, municipal worker, school teacher, professor, raise your hand. Somebody that participates in a pension, raise your hand. And I go, now keep your hand up if you've ever reviewed their pension. Well, out of 10,000 people, I had 5 hands in the air. So the opportunity to show you have more knowledge on something their current advisor neglected is a huge door opener. Because if you can show them you're more knowledgeable, what are they going to do? They're going to start looking at their old advisor going, well, Kai, I wonder what else Lisa knows that the current guy I have doesn't know, right? And that's a huge opportunity. So that is important to let you guys know that as well.
Yep, and we have other resources too. I mean, I work with a lot of agents, obviously. Some of them have been doing the K through 12 forever and ever, and they can do the pension review and the calculations blindfolded. Others that are maybe fairly new or, you know, maybe needs a back office or some help in doing those calculations. We do, and this is new, within the last 30 days, we now have access to a track program where you just plug in the numbers and it does the the gap for you, the calculations for you. Not only that, but you can plug in that school district and it'll give you a brief summary of how that pension plan or 403b plan works. So, you know, there is some cost to that. We do have a discounted rate through IAMS, but if you are new to this, I think it's well worth the cost because if, you know, whether it's 50 or $100, you know, if that helps you close $100,000 annuity, I mean, that speaks that speaks for itself, right? So if you do have questions on that, definitely let us know. I'm gonna have a poll question for anybody that wants additional information or consult with Rob or myself on some of these programs. We can do that. Now, Rob, I do have a question in the question box that I want to make sure that we cover. Excuse me. And that is, you know, are these appointments, they come in qualified? Are they pre-qualified? Rob, do you want to address that or you
Yeah,
want me to?
absolutely. I'll answer that question. So a
Okay.
couple things. I don't know what you mean by qualified. They're employed, but do we go in and go, hey, and there needs to be some understanding here is a lot of you guys get in this business and you don't do any research. For example, we'll talk about the K through 12 market really quick. A lot of you people don't know, oh, well, Sally Sue's got a 403B and she's 43 years old. Well, it doesn't matter whether she's 33, 43, or 53. She can move that 403B around. And there's some controlling factors there, but it isn't a 401k. So make sure you're doing your research. They don't need to be 59 and a half. As far as are the leads qualified, I mean, we're not going, hey, are you 59 and a half and have $3 million and ready to retire? Some of these appointment companies can do that. There are some things out there that are a little bit more qualified, but you're getting into more expensive appointments, and I do have access to that. But then you're jumping back up into the $300-400 range, which we're not really talking about today. I mean, if you're interested in some of those, you know, you could get in touch with Lisa and she'd spin you back to me, and we can discuss that on a one-on-one. But you know, typically what we see, you know, in the K through 12 market, I would say the average age of a person coming through is going to be about 44, 45 years old. You know, we have less than 7% of the appointments in the K through 12 market that are created under the age of 40. And that's just because people hit the age of 40 and they're like, oh, I got to retire one day sometime. Tons of opportunity there. And for those of you that are asking that question, they're like, I don't want a 22-year-old. Well, you're missing the boat. Unless you're 80 years old and you're in this business, you are completely missing the boat. And I always go back, this is a personal one, but my sister and brother-in-law have quite a business and do very well. They're probably worth around 40 to 50 million dollars. They have two very quiet daughters that are very reserved, and they live in northern Colorado, Fort Collins area. And my niece decides, this is 10 years ago, my niece decides, oh, hey, instead of going to school to be a doctor, I'm going to be a school teacher. Well, of course, my sister and brother-in-law put a ton of money away for her. And so here she is, a 22-year-old teacher sitting in front of an insurance agent that didn't ask the right questions to qualify her. And she's living in a house she paid cash for, which at the time's worth 600 grand, which is now worth over $1 million, and had 600,000 in the bank. Well, I know that's a unicorn, probably, but the agent didn't ask any questions. They started up a 403B with her for $25 a month, which is a joke, because they didn't ask the questions. The other thing is, people, if you're in this industry and you're looking for a customer, you need to get into a different industry. You need to look at people like their clients. Hey, where is the longevity of this person? And this part of this business can be huge. I mean, I've had plenty of agents that have gone out and moved millions of dollars on first appointments, especially in the college market. That's been a huge one on their first appointment. Does it always happen? No, but I mean, there's a lot of appointments that come through where they're moving 200 grand, 250. And it's fairly easy to do. I mean, it's not that complicated. And Lisa can help you with some of that as far as questions. But as far as qualifications, everybody that we deal with on these marketing systems is employed and they have a job. So they are employed and have income and have a job. So hopefully that answers that question. And if you want some more information on that, a little bit more information on that, you could reach out to Lisa, and Lisa could connect you with me, and we can have a deeper discussion in that for sure.
Yep. So basically how these come along is, um, Rob's vendors has, access to, their emails. So these folks are receiving an email. Hey, Mr. Smith, I understand you have a pension with college, university, blah, blah, blah. If you are interested in speaking with a professional outside of the college to help you with your pension review or retirement questions, you can click here and schedule that appointment and we'll hook you up. I mean,
Yep.
it's not in that words, but that's basically the gist of it.
That
So,
is essentially it. And one thing on that too, Lisa, I'm glad you brought that up, because some agents, I mean, I always say, hey, stay in your lane, stay in what you know. But a lot of agents go, well, this is all digital. Nobody's talking to anybody. Well, no. And really, you guys, I guarantee it, if you go compare two appointment systems, and I mean, I could set you up with both of them, but one of them that does actual live phone call where they sit there and have somebody like a call center try and schedule an appointment. Well, those people in those call centers get paid on how many appointments they schedule. And so
right.
we've all answered the phone by accident, had Johnny Joe on the other phone trying to sell us a subscription to GQ or whatever else it is. And, they don't give up, right? Or whatever. Well, in that same scenario, typically what I see at least is the no-show rates on those appointments skyrocket because
Yep.
there's somebody over pressurizing them going, well, Lisa, how's next Tuesday at 3 o'clock? Well, Lisa just wants to get off the phone and she goes, yeah, that's fine. Have them call me at 2 o'clock on Tuesday. Well, if she happens to pick up the phone, she's like, no, I didn't even want to schedule an appointment. The guy was just harping on me so bad. So I stay away from most of those companies that do that kind of scheduling. When we reach out to clients, or when these companies reach out to clients, they're talking to them about their pension retirement. Hey, Sally Sue, would you like to know more about your pension and retirement? Would you like to know when you can retire? Would you like to know what options are available for income when you retire? Would you like to know how many more years you possibly have to work? The other thing, and so when they get that, they respond back either yes or no. If it's no, they go by the wayside. But if they respond back, yeah, I would like to meet with a representative, we're like, great, we'll set you up with an expert in the state of whatever state they're in, Georgia, wherever it happens to be. And from there, the client actually goes in and determines the date and the time they would like to meet.
Right.
And then based off of your availability, that would be delivered to you. So on
So
that side,
just to piggyback on that, you guys, these are your leads. They're not going to be resold. And I think
appointments,
Rob already mentioned that. But my, coming from a marketing standpoint, um, don't just throw those leads, or I'm sorry, appointments, and those people that you've connected with to the side. Well, he didn't want to talk to me. Keep them on your drip email. Keep, touching base with them, once a month or every other month. Hey, just checking in. Want to make sure you're all set. See if you had any questions on anything we discussed. You'd be surprised. I see some of the larger accounts because that come in maybe 6 months or a year later. I had one guy
absolutely.
that didn't even have an appointment with this guy. The guy didn't even show up, but my agent kept him on a drip list.
Yeah,
And a
I
year
just had
later,
one. It's
he
interesting you said
came
that.
$850,000 rollover. Calls him
Yeah,
up. Hey, I was supposed to meet with you a year ago, didn't. I got your emails. I'm ready to move forward now. So
I just
don't miss
had
out
one
on
yesterday just like that, Lisa. That was
that.
one of my clients called me, said, hey, remember that appointment I got from XYZ company 6 months ago? And I go, no. And he goes, I just rolled 550 grand on that, and I'm like, good for you, so you might meet with them today. And you might not sell them anything. I mean, I also have agents ask me, hey, what's the close rate on these
Oh, Rob, I lost you.
appointments? Um, which is a terrible question. And the reason
Rob, you're
no, you're
cutting out.
fine. I said, I have agents ask me, hey, what's the close rate? And I go, that, am I? How's that? Is that better, Lisa?
Still
Am I
cutting
still
out.
cutting out,
A little bit. Yep.
Lisa? Oh,
Yes.
okay. I'll let you talk.
All
I'm
right.
just letting you now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. What I was going to say is, it's a terrible question because what the close rate is your close rate.
Yep.
I have some people that have participated across the board with, 4 or 5, 6 different appointment setting systems. One guy in particular, he's in the K through 12 market. It didn't matter which appointment source he was buying from. He's closing between 60 and 70%. Um, you know, so I mean, it's sort of irrelevant. You got to hone your skills, and work on what you do. Whatever you put into something's what you're going to get out of it. Um, and we got to do a little work to get there. So, but we
Yep.
are here to assist you along the way for sure.
Yep. Absolutely. Um, so like Rob mentioned, we have I mean, I've had some agents come to me looking for a specific type of lead program. And Rob, this is why we keep him around. He's always able to satisfy those needs and find that particular offender or a particular niche that they want. Now, back to the question, where is it qualified? We do have other programs, and when I say qualified, I know that a lot of us has experienced paying $300 lead, and they never talk to the guy. There's a lot of chasing. They're not actual appointments. So you're taking a little bit more of a gamble on those higher um, actual qualified leads. We do have a couple programs here at IAMS that are in that 300, 400, $300 to $400 range, where we feel like it's a decent program. So if you're interested in that, just ask your director about it, or myself. And with that, I think we've covered pretty much everything. Does anybody else have any questions that they want to pop in the question box here, and we make sure we can cover that? Because if you've got a question, somebody's probably got the same question. So I'll give that a minute for you guys to kind of do that while I launch this last poll. And if you are interested in talking to Rob, talking to myself, if you're not contracted with IAMS and you want some of those perks, I can get you contracted and make that process easy for you. Just select yes or no in here, and we'll be sure to get with you. I'm also going to send everybody out a link to our YouTube page for, any other training that you're looking for on preset appointments, things like that. We've got it if you need it. Rob, am I missing anything else?
I think we got it all covered. You guys, hey, happy holidays coming up. Reach out to Lisa and her team, and she'll be able to assist you, with any of your additional questions or connect you to me directly.
Mhm.
The process on getting signed up is pretty quick. The other thing is timeline. We forgot to talk about that. But typically, once you get registered in there, it's 3 to 5 minutes to get registered. And then usually you'll see appointments within, as soon as 3 to 4 days. I would say 5 to 7 on the outside, but it's typically 3 to 4 days before you'll see your first appointment.
Yep. I think that's about it. We're gonna let you guys get back to work and go find those folks that are needing. There's a lot of people out there that needs our assistance. A lot of people that are not directed in the right way for their retirement. We need producers out there to help people with their retirement needs. So go out there and make yourself available for them. And here's our number, 800-255-5055, or you can feel free to email me at llashendro@imzinc.com. We like to confuse you. We got 3 Lisas here. I'm Lisa Lashendro, or call me Double L. And Rob, I appreciate you as always, my dear friend.
Absolutely. Absolutely,
And
lady guys. Thank you for your time. And we'll go from there.
all right, you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for your time again, and we'll see you next time on our next webinar. Take care.